Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here today. It's my first time here at the conference, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the conference. And the presentations so far have been really good. So my presentation initially started as the road to refurbishment as I was creating it. And I then decided to change the title and I added in, are we there yet? Because I'm sure most of you will feel the same. It is a long journey for traffic signal refurbishment and I do often wonder if we will ever get there. Oh, sorry, I hadn't realised that jumped on. Did that jump on by 3? There we go. So I'm the group manager for traffic and road safety at Glasgow City Council. I have nearly 25 years experience in the industry. I started off my career as a technician in operations traffic. I've worked as an engineer for 15 years and I've been in a management role as assistant group manager and now the group manager for 4 years. I do have a passion for how things are built and how things work. And as you see, I like to drag my dog along to things, and by the look in her face, she loves it. I also chair the Scottish Traffic Signal User Group. This is a great support network for us up in Scotland, because in a lot of local authorities there can be one person who deals with lighting, signing and traffic signals. So we help each other out and keep up to date with what's happening in the industry with presentations, networking and meetings. And I've been an active member of the Institution of Civil Engineers for 15 years and I currently chair the Glasgow and West of Scotland branch. So a bit about Glasgow. In 2021, 635 people lived in Glasgow, but just before that, the population was rising and it took a hit with COVID. We've got the lowest car ownership in Scotland. Like other cities, public transport has a massive part to play. Active travel is growing. We've got the highest traffic volume in Scotland though, and Glasgow is also a major transport hub with high commuter flows in and out of the city. So the traffic signal network is made up of traffic signal junctions, pedestrian crossings, strategic signs. We operate a mesh network. We're nearing the end of a very long fibre update and we work in partnership with our control room staff and they do all of our fault management. So our current maintenance contractor is Unix and we have a Swarco systems contract. We run Scoot in over 600 sites in Glasgow. We've got bus priority in 170 sites and we run Greenwave for the fire service at key strategic locations. So the funding side of things has improved over the last 4 years with the introduction of the active travel and the Road Safety Improvement Fund from Transport Scotland. And we also get a small amount of funding from our own roads capital money, revenue funding and any sort of public transport improvements comes from Strathclyde Partnership for Transport. So an overview of the contract. We've saw an increase in faults over the last couple of years, and this is due to ageing assets that are becoming more difficult to maintain, obsolete parts, particularly the older controllers and the next generation LED. I must mention the halogen lamp crisis and the uncertainty of this, particularly for local authorities who do have a high number of halogen sites like us, and the number of poles needing replaced every year due to corrosion is slowly increasing. So this is a large-scale project that we had to undertake last year. It was sprung on us at the last minute. It was a junction upgrade to one of the busiest junctions in Glasgow. It's a key route from the city centre to the M8 and it was also close to major works that Transport Scotland were undertaking at the Woodside Viaduct. It was also on a bridge deck, which, as you know, makes things a lot more difficult for traffic signals. And Amy were working on behalf of Transport Scotland, undertaking the bridge deck and the waterproofing repair works there. So we had to step in just due to the timescales. We didn't want to go back in and dig up the road after Amy had been in. So we went in, once they'd undertaken the waterproofing, and we took on the task of finishing the resurfacing works, going in, upgrading the junction. So it's now got new cycling facilities on it. We also had to be off the road for the Christmas embargo, so it was challenging times. But like these things always do, it worked out in the end, and as you can see, it had a nice price tag. So these are all the policies that are driving all the things we're doing in Glasgow. This is the main strategies that tie into the Glasgow transport strategy. So we have the road safety plan, the livable neighbourhoods, the net zero plan, the city centre plan, and our active travel strategy. And back in 2000 was when I started my career, and I started in Glasgow. And I must admit, when I came back 4 years ago, I did feel a bit out my depth, going into a management role with a team that I already knew. And it was moving over to a new systems and the mesh side of things I had to learn about. And I did feel like Jen from the IT crowd. And I was always worried that the team were going to send me to a meeting and I would end up reliving the Jen going to a meeting thinking the internet was in a shoebox. But thankfully that hasn't happened. And the team has went on to win 4 awards in the last 2 years. So an overview, as you can see, we've still got a high number of halogen lamp sites. We've got the highest in Scotland, which is closely followed by Edinburgh. They've got around 200. We still have various sites without tactile cones and tactile paving. And as you can see from the pictures, we've got lots of sites that have got corroded poles and poles that are in the wrong location, so they're not really suitable for retrofit. We've got sites that are badly corroded, and the one on the far right, you'll see it's a sort of substandard island layout, so it really needs a whole new junction upgrade and more engineering works. So every year we report the condition in what's called our annual status and options report. And last year we reported 52% of our traffic signals require replacing. And this is to mitigate any issues and risks in the future and address the accessibility problems. We always give 3 levels of investment. In the report, the top one, no investment, and that really has got us in the situation that we're in today. We've reported a state of steady investment of 4 million would help target the failing sites every year, and our current investment of 2.6 would actually take us 11 years to upgrade all the sites and fix all the problems. And we do still have lots and lots of sites from the 90s, and you'll see here this is going to be the last black and white pole that we're going to be replacing in a few months. So we always give a gold standard, which is the 5.5 million in a phased approach for 5 years. But this option does need planning. We need to get the capabilities to increase and improve our resources and allow the contractor to do the same. This is some of the new junctions we've been installing as part of the active travel works. And lots of chat about AI, and I do wonder what the future holds for us. We maybe might end up with an Alexa at traffic signals at some point in the future. Some of our systems side of things, we've just done some work with Swarco to upgrade to ScootView due to server issues, which is not uncommon in age systems, and eventually older UTC systems do need investment to bring them up to the current standard and to be able to cope with the introduction of new technology and the demands for the future. And this is where we've been using the AGD 650. So we've been investigating AI and detection for a number of years now. We've moved to above ground detection for all our loops. And we have been using this, and this helps us to identify certain types of vehicles and serve the stage for the example on the right is Buchanan Street, and it helps make the junction more efficient and it reduces pedestrian waiting times. So the vision for Glasgow, going from close to what we still have on the left to the predicted future where active travel plays a key part and vehicle kilometres does seem like a long way off. And I do always have questions about how would this actually operate in the future? How would you get servicing into shops? And would the rain gardens look like that in a few years' time? To help enhance active travel and reduce the number of accidents on the road network, we are working towards the implementation of a citywide 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. We already have 1,300 streets in Glasgow with a 20 limit, and this will now mean that 3,700 will be 20 mile an hour. We do still have around 600 streets that need to remain as 30 because they don't meet the criteria. During the assessment period, 316 surveys were undertaken, which is the largest speed data measurement undertaken in Scotland. Cost to deliver the signing and lining scheme will be around 8.6 million and should be implemented at the end of the year. Some other quick examples of where we're improving pedestrian links and introducing active travel. And George Square, that's our next big project. This is a good example of where there will be major renovation in a key area within the city centre. 20 million is being spent on upgrading the square, and another 5 million will be invested in the surrounding infrastructure. So we really rely on projects like this to allow us to upgrade a lot of the obsolete equipment in the city centre. So as I come to the end of my presentation, apologies about the slides. Who's coming on next? Jackie? Here's the pause button. That felt like a good counselling session for me. I did get a lot of my problems off my chest, so thank you for listening. But what next for Glasgow? So we are continuing to explore our funding opportunities. We're not getting the same support that the English authorities have got from the DFT, and we are having to put more pressure on our own internal budgets. We're going to do our best to keep things moving in challenging times, and we're currently implementing a lot of plus from UNEX this year to see if this is a good option for us, compare costs and look at key sites we can use existing ducting. We're going to keep up to date with industry developments and new technology. We're going to strive to always look for improved ways of doing things, particularly with limited budgets. And I hope you have enjoyed my update on what's happening in Glasgow. And thank you very much for listening.